Welcome. So glad you're along here with me. I'm Paula Sands, your host for this hour. We're going to start off today with some yard lessons. It's starting to fade away. Can you tell? Now as fall looms closer. There are some things you should do now when it comes to mowing and other yard stuff. And the man who knows all about it is Chris Kaiser. He is of the Outdoor Power Equipment Institute, joining us now with the Fall Family Yard to-do list. Hi, Chris. How you doing down there in Kentucky?
It's all good. Good to be with you.
It's all good. Good to hear that. You have some more work for us to do, though, it sounds like. But you want us to mulch things this year rather than just going out and raking, right?
You bet. If you'll mulch the leaves that are on your lawn or mulch the grass clippings that you have, it's a terrific natural fertilizer, and that'll prep the lawn for next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's better than raking because, then you got to bag it or you got to do something like that with it.
You bet, and that's labor. And so, again, this is a natural fertilizer. The machine, if you're using a mulching mower, most mowers are today, that'll shred into tiny little pieces, and that'll decompose over the winter and be a good natural fertilizer. That's
a pretty cool thing. I remember when we got our mulcher mowers, like, hey, it just like disappears. And then, yeah, that's good for everybody. Yeah. Okay, aerating. Punch some holes in that yard. Talk about aerating.
That's right. So what happens with the yard, you get a thatch buildup on the surface, and that'll compact, and that prevents air, water, nutrients from getting down into the soil. So if you aerate, that'll punch holes in your lawn and allow that materials, nutrients to get into the ground. That's very, very helpful if you're able to use an aerator.
Well, it's hard to think about spring when we're here in this time of year, but the things you do now are going to determine how your yard's going to look, next year.
That's absolutely key. It's planning. And so even if you want to design the outdoor space for your specific needs, obviously COVID, we reconnected to the outdoors, and people are tailoring their outdoor spaces for their work, for their enjoyment, for their staycations. But you got to do it now. You got to plan for that. And so if you want a good, robust spring and your plants to be robust, now is the time for fertilizer and aeration and taking care of that.
So we're wondering about mowing too, Chris. And I know you want us to mow for quite a bit longer until a hard frost.
That's right. Your grass is likely going to continue to grow if it has water until your first hard frost. You're going to want to keep it 2 to 3 inches, your personal preference. But mow it up until when it stops growing, and you'll know that. So again, that'll be water dependent, but the first hard frost will turn it off.
Yeah, mow until frost. I mean, we're not looking forward to that, but, it means the yard is buttoned up some, I guess. Also, the watering. You shouldn't stop that in the fall.
That's exactly right. Again, you want your plants and your grass to be strong in the spring when it comes back. So you want it to go dormant in a healthy way. And so that's to keep it strong up until that time. So continue to water it. If you're not getting natural water, remember again, if you've got the right plant for the right place, the right grass, it'll be fine once established. But you do, if you're able to, you want to be wise about how we use water. But if you're able to use some water, keep that grass strong up until the time it turns off.
We're showing some pretty pictures of outdoor spaces, and we're coming up into that great time of year. So many people say fall is their favorite. So if you wanted to do some upgrades, before, to enjoy the yard for another couple of months, what's a quick thing that we can do, Chris, that would kind of help with that?
The nice thing is we call it backyarding. Figure out what you want to do. Do you want to exercise? Do you want to do yoga? Do you want to have an outdoor office? Keep an outdoor office. Make sure you have those things. Do you want to stay dry? Do you need a water feature? Do you have a play area for the dogs or the kids? That badminton court, the croquet court, fire pit. So many of these things you have to plan for nowadays because some things are in short supply. Labor oftentimes is in short supply. Hardscape can be in short supply. So planning is key. There's a lot of good weather ahead of us. So get out, buy those materials, plan to invest in that outdoor space.
Love it. And it really is beautiful to be able to get out there. So let's do that here while we can. You can be reached at turfmutt.com, Chris. And I know you guys do a lot of different things when it comes to it's a foundation as well for all kind of outdoor learning experiences and other kinds of things. So we invite folks to look you up that way. And saving the planet 1 yard at a time. I know that's your mission, Chris.
It is. It's turfmutt.com, and we tell it from a dog's point of view.
Yeah,
Nobody knows your yard better than your dog.
It's true, isn't it? Yeah, we're gonna meet a cute little doggy here in the studio in a little bit. Chris, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. Bye now.